Starting. Hello.
Hello, yo, hello.
Hello.
How's it going, Jade?
Do you know what it's like following your country's politics closely right now?
The hell on earth
So
and
yeah, that's how
no
it's
sign of
going.
escape.
How's it going with you?
I lost my power.
You
So,
lost your power.
um, so to the viewers at home,
We're
for some
late.
context, this episode is extremely late because not only is it being pushed from the Thursday recording to Sunday, due to me being occupied for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and most of today. As we started to record, I got hit with a big storm that knocked out my power and internet for like a good 20 minutes, or not 20 minutes, like 15 minutes. And that pushed us back. And then we had to, for safety precautions for the recording, have Jade set up the recording. So Jade is actually recording this one,
I
not
know it's
me.
cursed
So
as fuck.
you can probably tell with the audio because I'll be the one that sounds like I'm through Discord, not Jade. Jade will have the better audio on this one. Um,
We'll see about that.
we'll, we'll I mean,
This is
most
this is a
likely.
this is a prototype of something that'll be changed in future anyway. We do
Yeah,
still
we're
plan
gonna.
on updates, but between Valentine's Day,
Yeah, it was last Thursday. Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Friday. Yeah, because I was thinking Thursday because that's when David came down.
Yeah, so you had David come down. You
Mm-hmm.
went to see a
That was
movie.
nice. Yeah, the new Captain America movie. It was.
Bad.
It was all right. What?
I think that you've maybe got a bit of the Marvelness stuck in you at this point. You're far too fucking kind to the Marvel movies.
No, I mean
You are
maybe
far
I
too
am.
fucking kind to the Marvel movies.
Maybe the thing is, people have been saying that this movie was one of the worst Marvel movies, and I just think that they're wrong on that one. Like I have seen every single one, and they're saying like this is bottom three MCU movies, and it's like they are so wrong with that. The bottom three is like Thor 2 and fucking like Secret Invasion. Well, that's not that's a TV show, but like this is nowhere near as bad as those.
But
This is like
fuck the
on the
movie.
same
You had
level
a
as
good
like
time with
fucking.
David though.
I did have a good time with David. I did have a good time with David.
You do
It
anything
was
else beside the movie?
we were gonna go on a walk, but then it started to storm, so we didn't do that. But we mostly just kind of laid around, played video games, cuddled in bed, watched a lot of Northern Lion videos, which is really funny. Um, and just kind of had a lazy bout. Lazy bout. We made spaghetti. It was just nice, a nice time. It was a nice time.
That's a good way to spend Valentine's.
Yeah, it was a nice time. And then after that, I just kind of like fucking breezed through the weekend, going through work.
Yeah.
I don't think I told you tomorrow my campus is closed for some holiday, so I'll be home all day tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm probably gonna spend the time recording for the Marvel video though, because I gotta start working on that.
Yeah. Add to the Marvel discourse because there isn't enough of that.
No, no,
I'm
no,
sorry, I'm
definitely
giving
not.
you a bit of shit. I had a
I
bit of a
feel
shit
my
weekend.
video I feel my video will be more positive than a lot of other people's like videos because I always hate watching a video on the MCU and it's nothing but like this shit's dog shit, everything's going downhill, and it's like, well, like it's not all bad, like it's
Look,
fun.
I stopped watching discourse on the Marvel stuff a little like while ago, but the last I saw, most of the complaints people have against Marvel is like this is woke and oh, why they this is they put a woman on the thing and
It's
Captain
not even
Marvel's
that
just
that
like
annoys
that.
me.
Look, that should tell you at least how long ago I was paying any attention to the discourse. But you can't deny
Yeah,
that that was the discourse at one point.
that was a lot of it. That was like 2019. Yeah, like Captain Marvel and like Endgame having Captain Marvel be prominent, like that type of stuff. Black Panther and all that. But like I don't know. I just feel like a lot of videos about the MCU, the decline of the MCU. It's like in that same genre of like the rise and fall of iDubbbz and shit, or the rise and fall of H3 Productions, and it's like a big like 3 hour like video where most of it is just clips of them over time, and it's like, well, I mean, like you're not really making much content here. You're just kind of like
Admittedly,
just
H3
very
has
lazy.
fallen so
Oh
far,
no,
and
he's
if you
horrible.
scrape the
We could talk a bit
bottom of
about
the
that
barrel, hmm?
if you want. Do we want to? We could talk about a bit about that if we want at some point.
There's not really much to say. I mean, Ethan has proven to be an awful person pretty much consistently for a long time now.
I for a time he kind of like had a bit of a redemption for me, because like for a while he was just kind of like the washed up YouTuber doing his podcast, nothing, and then for a bit he started doing some like the podcast with Hassan, and that was back when I was a Hassan fan. I don't hate Hassan now. I've kind of come to just feel neutral on Hassan. I feel like he's better than a lot of other people in space, but like I
Do you
don't really
know
care about his content.
what
But
what my commentary on Hassan is?
tell me.
I think he actually makes piss poor content.
That's fair. I don't like his content either, but I think as a voice in the space, he's very needed,
No,
and he has a
as a
lot of
voice, he
influence.
does have a lot of points that he brings up. He brings attention to a lot of things that need attention brought to. He does have quite a few problematic sides as well, problematic takes on
Yeah,
things. But for the most
yeah,
part, my biggest issue with Hassan is that he makes piss poor content.
yeah. I don't like his average output, but I do like it though that he, unlike a lot of like online political content creators, will just like he actually goes out and like he would like during the LA fires he was interviewing the prisoner firefighters.
Mm.
He had a call with Bernie. He like actually does things which a lot of people don't do. It's another thing I like about Vosh a lot. He's very active with Progressive Victory, and he goes out and canvasses and stuff. Like it's really good to see that like creators will actually get themselves out there, because I feel like a big issue during like the last like 4 or 5 years of leftists online is that a lot of them just kind of sit and don't do anything, and then just like make a 2 hour video on how the alt right wing pipeline exists, something we all know exists and has made billions of videos on, but people are going to make more videos on it. It's like you're not actually, and then the
Yeah, but either
slacktivism.
way, since I was so, you know, I thought you might ask, but yeah, I just basically sat in front of my computer for Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
I streamed
you did stream that.
with
Yeah, you streamed.
collab with Average Plain Jane and Blood Wolf Whisper. That
I didn't get
was
a chance to catch it too much. I caught the very end of it.
that was pretty cool. And then for the rest of the weekend, I was pretty much just trying to keep up with all of the things, so many
Yep.
things, so
So
many
many
fucking things, and that's why I
so many things
saw a
and they're
couple of
blending
Hassan
together.
videos because like there's just I was trying to absorb. I was trying to get as much information as possible. I was thinking like, oh, I'd come into this podcast pretty informed, and you know what? There's just so much I can barely
There's so
fucking.
much.
There's like given even me watching this stuff practically from waking up to going to sleep, this entire fucking weekend, I can barely tell you half of it at this point because it was just so fucking much. There was
So
the
much of it is blended
RFK.
together in my head. Yeah.
There
When
was
was these even? Like, was that this week?
Tulsi
I don't
Gabbard.
even
It was
remember.
last week, I think. I
That
don't
was
know.
last week.
The
So yeah, the
Tulsi
Tulsi
Gabbard one,
Gabbard and
and then the
RFK
one
hearing,
you missed completely, which was Linda
the
McMahon, which
Linda,
is
yeah,
like,
that one was
oh,
on Thursday, right?
oh dear, that one was that one. That look, education is important. I
It's the
think.
field I'm going into as a fucking career.
Oh,
I don't think I'm going into it anymore.
well, it's not going to exist very soon. But the really look, I'll tell you the highlight, like the big scary thing that it is about, because we all know Trump wants to get rid of the Department of Education. This is something he's been
Yeah,
talking
it's
about for fucking
very
ages,
stated.
so we all know. This has been covered by Midas Touch. It's been covered by Kyle Kuklinski. This has been covered by David Pacman. This has been covered by Vosh. This has been covered. What's wrong with David Pacman?
Isn't he a Zionist?
I don't fucking know. He's covering
I'm
the
pretty sure he's like a pretty pro-Israel guy.
either way. Like, it's covered by a lot of people on the left already. The thing that is really horrifying is that they're pulling federal funding for any schools that
Yeah.
have requirements for vaccines,
Yeah, that's
starting
the
with the
clip I saw.
COVID vaccine. But
That's insane. That is
people
most schools.
people on the left are concerned that it's not going to stop with just the COVID vaccine, and that if the schools have
Of
any
course it's not.
requirement for any vaccines at all, measles, polio, any of them, then those are also going to lose federal funding.
I'm gonna do a quick Google search. How many schools require COVID vaccine? All states have laws requiring that children attending schools be vaccinated against certain diseases, including measles, mumps, polio, tetanus, whooping cough, and chickenpox. Yes, but what about COVID? Here, AP News. What do they got here? Um, let's see. There's no listing of how many schools this would affect. But
Because the number
there are
is fucking
exemptions.
massive. It's all basically all schools that
It
get any
it
public
is it is.
funding.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's every single public school that this would affect,
Yes.
and the only ones that wouldn't have it are some private schools and religious schools. I'm sure. Oh, we'll get into that later on. Don't spoil that one. Take me off. Take me off.
Right, right. So
um,
that's kind of where that's going. Um, what else?
I mean,
There's just so
there's
fucking much. God, there's so
the
fucking much.
there's
Oh,
Trump at Daytona.
one particular issue I have, which was
Oh
highlighted with Linda McMahon as well, is truth is gone now. Truth doesn't exist.
no, Truth Social's right there. What are you talking about?
Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like
Of course.
reality is no longer reality. Truth no longer exists
Yeah,
in American
truth hasn't
politics.
mattered. Truth hasn't mattered since like 2023. Like
No,
since
I
then, it's
wouldn't
just
say
been
that.
complete lies.
I wouldn't say that. Look, I'm just seeing
I
what
think
I'm
the
referring to.
2024 campaign was entirely fueled by just lies,
What
pure
I'm
lies.
referring to specifically now is something that has been in every single confirmation hearing, right? Every
Mm,
single confirmation hearing has had the same issue come up again and again and again, and I'd like to just focus in on that for a moment.
that being,
I'll use one particular question that's been in almost every single confirmation hearing. If Donald Trump asked you to do something illegal, would you do it, yes or no?
and everyone's just like,
Not a single fucking one of
no.
them has answered yes or no. Every single one of them says something along the lines of, Trump wouldn't ask me to do that. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to comment on a hypothetical. I think that was the Tulsi Gabbard response.
Yeah.
So here's the problem,
I
right? They
Can I
get,
say one thing?
yeah,
I don't understand why people who are obviously lying don't just answer like no. Like, are you going to do this thing? No.
because
And then just
beyond
do it anyway.
anything, these confirmation hearings are places where that whole like sworn oath they seem to take seriously. Like
Yeah,
this is
but
the
they
one
just
place where the
won't.
Republicans seem to take seriously the swearing of an oath. If you get my meaning.
I don't think so. Like, do you think Tulsi Gabbard gives a fuck?
No,
Like,
but you
Tulsi
get
Gabbard's a
like
fucking
it's a sensitive political time, and they still need to play some of their cards the right way. That's what I mean.
yeah, but this is like an in general thing. I notice this with a lot of like bad people who like to lie even before like anything official. They do it on the campaign trail a lot. Like just lie. Just fucking commit to the lie. I don't get it. But continue.
But it is pretty much that, because it's not just happening inside the confirmation hearings, right? It's happening with the press secretary as well. It's happening there with the press secretary, where they they ask her a question and they'll get a non-answer, or they'll
Yeah,
ask
like
Trump directly a question when he was on his way to the NFL, to the Super Bowl, and they asked him about what about Elon Musk being like him being transparency on Elon Musk stuff. And
mhm.
Trump's response was, "Oh, but it's all on Twitter. Just go to Twitter. It's all basically stocks. Like it, like just the the
uh
the 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 blatancy of it." But the part I wanted to focus in on, though, is that these confirmation hearings, right? The senators, the congressmen, they get 5 minutes, as far as I understand from what I've been watching. Many of them get like five
like
minutes.
each they get five, yeah, each questioner gets 5 minutes to answer
So
ask
they
questions.
spend like an entire minute trying to get this yes or no, but then they don't, and then
And
they
they just move
they
on.
they just move on, and it's like you can't you these are points you
The
can't just move on from.
the
These are
one
points
the
that you
one thing they
can't.
the one thing they never moved on from in the Tulsi Gabbard hearing was, do you condemn Edward Snowden? Do you condemn
You know
Edward
what? That was
Snowden?
so
Edward Snowden. And
stupid.
they went on for like half an hour about Edward Snowden and like nothing else. The
That was
fact that she
so
defends
incredibly
Assad or
stupid.
Russia. And it's like fucking Edward Snowden, the one thing she is fucking correct on. You harp on for 30 minutes. It's insane.
You know,
They
it's
found
not
the
even a point of her being correct or incorrect on Edward Snowden. How the fuck is that relevant now? What Edward Snowden did was in
because
such a different
that was during the
world.
Obama administration.
It was like 10 fucking years ago. They need to shut the fuck up and leave Edward Snowden alone, just purely off the fact that he isn't even relevant anymore. What he's
Yeah,
done
that
has
was back
been
in
done.
2013. That was fucking 12 years ago.
But you get my point. Like, what's been done has been
Yeah.
done. He hasn't
Yeah,
done
he's
anything since except sit in fucking hiding.
yeah, he's been in Russia just sitting out chilling for fucking 12 years because the American government wants to fucking cut his head off on public television. Like like for those who don't know, Edward Snowden leaked a bunch of government files about how the government is so obviously spying on us and doing illegal shit and doing all the evil
Basically,
totalitarian things.
just
And he
revealing
fled
the
to Russia.
surveillance state.
Yeah, he basically he revealed the surveillance state's existence, and then he fled to Russia. And the American government has been like, "Well, if he went through the proper channels, we would have like let him say what he wanted to. But he's a terrorist to the American people. He's a threat to
Fucking
the American
lies.
people's safety." And it's all lies. Like Edward Snowden is a
If he
whistleblower.
went through the
He
proper channels,
what's
he'd
the
have been
trans?
dead before we even
Yeah,
knew his name.
who's the trans whistleblower? What's her name? Because she's also good too. I just want to shout her out. What's her name? The former soldier.
I don't
Chelsea
know.
Manning.
Chelsea
Chelsea Manning.
Manning.
Yeah, she's one of the WikiLeaks ones. She was 2017 or something.
Yeah.
No, that's when she got arrested. She was also 2013. What was her? Oh, yeah, she did Iraq War stuff. And then the last one was the last of the big whistleblowers was the one who's bad and he's like a pedophile. What's his fucking name? I forget.
They're all
I forget.
pedophiles.
He's bad though.
Fucking Trump is literally flying
I don't know why
around on the
I don't know
Lolita
why
Express. I
the
didn't know
name
that, but
I
he
know
bought fucking
oh,
Epstein's plane.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, but for some reason, the name that's coming to my mind, I know 100% it's not him, is Aziz Ansari, and I don't know why, but I'm just gonna run in my head that Aziz Ansari is the person I'm thinking of. Sure.
He's a
Aziz Ansari
comedian.
leaked. He's the fucking comedian.
He's a fucking comedian. Either way,
I don't know
so
why.
that being said, I think the thing that you have on your screen now, I'm gonna pull it up in a second
Mm-hmm.
again, but I want to lead into it a bit. I want to lead
Mm.
into it a bit. Donald Trump is not the president. And if you want to
No,
know the evidence for this, just ask Elon Musk's demon spawn.
no, I don't want to be that mean to X. So yeah, so like
No,
the
this
other,
kid is being raised in an environment and acting in such a way that if this continues, this kid is
he's
gonna grow
Damien from
up
the
to
Omen.
this kid is gonna grow up to be Elon's heir. This is the kid. Like we all know Elon has a billion kids out there, but this is the kid. And the fact that his name is X proves that even more. But you know what? Just roll the fucking clip.
Okay.
Is to restore democracy. This is from one year to the next are the same, and they're partnership with the agency heads, and I checked recently with the president to make sure that these
4-year-old XA garden
We signed a
XA.
very important deal today. It's Doge, and I'm
I
going to ask
fucking
Elon to
hate this
tell
country.
you a little bit about it.
prices from one year to the next are the same, and they do complain. And the fraud is complained
Are they
about.
going to show the part where the kid picks his nose and puts it on the Resolute desk?
Restore
Does this clip
I
include
don't
that?
know.
Probably not.
Be difficult. So.
I could probably find it.
No, it's fine. That's fine.
From E Online. No video. Here's him picking his nose. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, he picks his nose and he wipes it on the Resolute desk. Because that is the name of the desk, right? That is the name of the
I
president's desk, right?
believe so. I actually don't know that. That's like some trivia I don't know.
Oh,
What
maybe
the
I know
fuck is
it.
this? As for X's mother, who is currently embroiled in a custody battle with Musk over X and their other kids, Exadark Side Rail 3 and Technomechanicus. Oh, that's their age, sorry. Exadark Side Rail and Technomechanicus. Are these their real names, or are these like fake names to hide their real names?
I think these are their real names. This is who is in charge of your country right now. Like this person who is in real charge
12.
of 13.
Yeah, 13. We'll get there. Relationship. Yeah, the fucking here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Vivian's the trans one. Look at there's like a fucking list of children. Like it's a goddamn like list of band members. So yeah, Vivian. Vivian's my age. That's pretty cool. Yeah, 2020. X A
This kid's
X
literally
A
fucking
12
5,
from
wiping his
Grimes as a
nose
kid.
and telling the president in the most
He's literally
powerful
Damien.
political
He's
seat.
literally Damien from the Omen. Wait, he went back to Grimes and had more kids with Grimes? I didn't know that. He had 2 kids with Grimes again?
You saw
Unknown.
it.
I'm assuming this is their name. The one of the kids is named just Damien.
And you know that Elon knew exactly what he was doing when he named that kid.
No, this is 2006. This is before he completely lost his fucking mind.
What the
This is
fuck?
when he was just a normal average pedophile
So,
millionaire.
pause. Side
Yes.
note. Look under Vivian Wilson. Look at
For the
the
rugby player.
click on that, or middle click on that, A New
This is someone
Zealand
different.
rugby player from 100 years ago?
They died in 1978. This is back when Vivian was a guy's name, I guess.
Also, New Zealanders are weird. That's fucked. But okay. Um, yeah, so this this is literally who runs your country now, and
Yeah.
like,
How do you pronounce this, by the way?
hey,
A. XAA12. My God.
this is so. I've been. Do you think the Trump cognitive decline thing is real?
Yeah. I think that there is a real cognitive decline. Take my screen off so we don't spoil the article. I think that there is a real cognitive decline
The thing
with
is
Trump.
that it's just so hard to tell because he didn't exactly start at the top of the cognitive ladder.
I think if you compare him to 2016 to now, it's very clear
No, no,
that
no,
he
no, no,
is.
no, no, no. How much do you know about The Apprentice?
I never watched an episode, but I know of Trump in like the 90s,
2000s.
in the 2000s. Well,
So,
90s and 2000s. I was looking at the freaking McDonald's commercial. That's
here's a couple of truths about The Apprentice, right? Number one, his boardroom, as shown in The Apprentice, isn't the real boardroom. It's a
of
set.
course.
Do you
Of
know the
course.
reason for this?
I do not know the reason for this, other than like basic television stuff.
It wasn't basic television stuff. Is that his real boardroom was so fucking bad that it would look bad if that was the boardroom of the guy that runs The Apprentice.
What, like physically, like it was a fucking pigsty?
No, like as in it was a shitty boardroom that was clearly not paid for and not looked after very well and old and out of date
Uh,
and that sort of stuff. Number one, right?
I see.
Number two, the boardroom scenes in the episodes of The Apprentice took 3 to 4 hours to record, out of which they got 5 to 10 minutes of usable footage.
He's just fucking an idiot on camera. We see what the type of shit they'd be cutting out if you just look at any of his fucking public appearances, just waffling on.
Like he just says stuff. He just says stuff.
Yeah, but my argument is that I think he says less stuff that's coherent. Like he used to talk, he used to just talk, and everything he said like made sense. Like it was all
Whoa,
fucking
when?
nonsense.
Fucking when?
2016, like during his first term, like he would say conscious streams of consciousness just fucking falling under the weave of words,
His
but everything
pattern
he
of
said,
speech is
like you can
fucked.
see. Yeah, but you can see what he was trying to say. Like he
But that's
wasn't
the
completely
thing,
fucking
trying to
incoherent.
say.
But now,
It's saying
it's like, but now there's like nothing. Like you just listen to what he's saying, and it's complete. Like, oh, now we're here, and it's just like you have to be as mentally ill as him to follow along with his thought process. You can
Because
see his thought process at older speeches.
who was it?
You can't see that now.
It was Cody Johnston from Some More News who at one point spoke about it and pointed out, like, read out the complete transcript of one like interview or speech Trump was giving, and when spoken from like a normal person, it doesn't make any sense. Not
Yeah, when was
the
this though?
one sentence. This was like 2017. This was years ago. This was first
I'm
term.
not saying he always made sense. I'm saying he makes less sense now.
Yes. So that's what I mean by like, it's hard to point at the cognitive decline. It's hard. That's the thing, is that it's hard for me to even believe it's a cognitive decline when I look at evidence like that and I go, "But this is kind of like how he's always been." He's just allowed to do more of it, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like
He-
when you start at such a low bar, it's hard to see that bar fall, is what I'm saying.
Mhm. Yeah,
And that's why I was
it
like,
just
what's
goes
your
further and
opinion on it?
further.
But it's not as far a
I
fall as you're making it sound. I really do think that it's a low bar falling lower.
well, yeah, I think the gap is big though. Like he is clearly like gone. And with Joe Biden, I think with him, like Joe Biden just kind of sounds old. Like Joe Biden, he's like falling apart his body wise, but I think his mind is actually more there than Trump. When Biden talks, it makes sense what he says. They're like
I
real sentences. He
I
just, I mean,
don't know. I don't know. Because look,
I think so.
here's why I say that, right? Let me just qualify myself because I don't want to come across as like one of the hardcore anti-Biden people either.
Oh, I am a hardcore anti-Biden person.
Look, look at your alternatives. Look at your alternatives. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean,
my reason for saying that is that if it was just his body, they wouldn't have felt the need to hide him away.
no, absolutely. It is that is the reason why they hid him away because he looks old. People think about this. The American people are stupid enough to vote in for Trump. Do you think do you think they care about the difference between his mind being old and his body being old? No, it's all about fucking optics and shit. That's why they hid him
Dude,
because
president
they
in a
thought,
fucking wheelchair.
well, we did have a president wheelchair and he was kind of like the best one, but
Yeah, but
we also
isn't the
that
story
we also
there
hid that.
that isn't the
We hid his
story
wheelchair.
yeah, isn't the story there that his wife was actually making all of the moves that not
In like
all
the
of the
last
moves, but like
during like the last
she was
terms,
running
like in his
shit.
early terms, in the last year, like times of
Yeah,
his life when
obviously
his like
once
age
things
was
had,
really
it
not
had
age,
really
sorry.
progressed to a point, but it really like
It
credit to that
it
woman
was
though.
she did do a lot. It wasn't like entirely her. That your Reagan was most like the second term for Reagan. Nancy was pretty much running everything. But for
Fuck
FDR, it
Reagan.
was honestly shared.
Fuck Reagan. Reagan was
Reagan
the
is actually like
beginning.
treasonous.
Reagan was actually like, look, I've been doing a lot of catching up on this shit, and Reagan was actually what people are pointing to as the beginning of the
Oh, yeah.
anti-truth
I've been
movement.
saying that for years now.
Like I knew
But
Reagan was bad, and I disagreed with a lot of the Reagan era sort of mentality and all that, but it truly was a movement away from truth.
American politics is so bad right now. It's got me looking at Richard Nixon like maybe we treated you too harshly, dude.
Honestly, maybe, because
I
what
I
Nixon
don't
did,
even hate Nixon anymore.
what Nixon did isn't even as bad as the surveillance that was going on under Obama. I'm not saying Obama was the cause or at fault for it. That is just what the system was at that point. But Nixon
Like what Nixon,
didn't
yeah, what
even
Nixon
surveil
did,
his own people the way the government just functions now.
he just surveilled his own cabinet and his opposition and shit. Like he was spying on people in government. He was bombing people in other countries, which we do fucking every day now. Like the things Nixon did are so fucking normal now that it's like where how can I even hold him to a different standard than other people? Like Nixon was just a horrible human being, but also like he's a better president than Trump.
I
He
mean,
was a more
that's
effective politician than Biden. Like what am I gonna
Here's
say?
here's a real question for you, right? Let me ask you a real question because I'm not an American. So I'm asking this of you.
Mhm.
Is there a worse president than Trump?
No, no, just no. Maybe if it was his first term, because his first term he didn't do anything.
Well, his first
So if it
term,
was
he was
just his
still
first term,
learning the ropes.
yeah, in his first term, I'd say there were worse presidents
And
than him because Reagan and Bush had more of a negative impact on things. But in his second term, he's already done more impact than Bush or Reagan ever did.
as far as I understand, in his first term, he also had to contend with what people are calling the rhinos of the Republican Party.
Yeah, the Republicans in name only. Like he had resistance. He had real opposition from Democrats and from Republicans in his first term, because
Yeah,
there's a lot of
like
Republicans
his
who didn't
vice
like taking
president
orders from him.
actively said, "No, no,
Yeah,
I'm not
and
doing the illegal thing
The
for you."
Democrats back then actually tried to be like progressive liberals for the most part, pushing back on a lot of the anti-immigration stuff, pushing back on a lot of the racist stuff. But then as soon as Biden came into power, they folded and stopped talking about all that stuff and adopted the right-wing positions. And now that's how Trump is able to gotten into power and is able to get away with everything because nobody is standing up to him anymore.
But
He doesn't have any opposition now.
can we just admit at this point that the Democratic Party, the DNC, whatever you want to fucking call them, right, are not left wing.
They're not. They never were. This country is very right wing country. We've always been a right wing country. Our furthest left movements died like 100 years ago with
Bernie
with
exists.
fucking like with Eugene V. Debs. Like he was like the last real leftist to
Bernie,
run for. Bernie is like a Bernie by like actual leftist standards is like pretty tame. Like I'm
yes,
talking
but
about real leftist.
yeah, but he is playing the game
He is playing the game. I do think
because
Bernie
he
is
knows
probably
he's in a right wing government
he
system. But
yeah.
ideologically, if you
Bernie.
look at
But
what
he's also like
Bernie actually
ancient.
believes,
He's like the only guy now.
yeah,
Like we have like some young Democrats, but like there's like a handful of them. There's no left wing movement in the country. The biggest left wing organization is I forgot their fucking name. What is it? The it's like a local charter for socialist charter. What's their name? On what a fucking socialist charters America.
but on that note,
The
aside from
DSA.
Bernie, the DSA,
The DSA.
on that note, aside from Bernie, I get the feeling that AOC is left wing.
Oh, absolutely. I think AOC is at the least a progressive liberal. But the thing is, like, she's the next biggest voice, and also she has like no support from the Democratic Party at all, even less than
Because they're
Bernie ever
not
had.
left wing.
Because they're not left wing, and also she's a woman who's brown and young.
Yeah.
From a poor area, so like she has like no foothold there, and like all the other young progressives, like Elon Omar and stuff, they're also all brown and women, or like black men. So it's like there's very few progressive people. Even the older ones like Rokana, he's a brown man. So it's like there's really no like progressive movement in the country like that is in government. All the progressive movements are not even, they're so disorganized and small.
Well, with the way things are going and the rate at which they're going in that way, I remember when Trump won the presidency and they won the House and they have like the House, the Senate, and the presidency, right? Everybody was talking about, oh, you know, we're gonna have to pull this back in the midterms. It's not gonna happen. Democracy is falling apart too quickly. By the time the midterms roll around, Elon Musk is just going to buy the votes and say he got them and get away with it.
I don't think it's possible to even predict what's going to happen in 2026 because it is just so hard to comprehend all of that. Like the country's going to be a completely different place by the midterms.
Yeah, that's why I say, like,
yeah,
if things continue the way they are and it continues to collapse the way it is, by the time the midterms roll around, I mean, look, the government agencies, any sort of oversight that is there to protect against things like Elon Musk are just being kicked out unceremoniously.
Mm-hmm. I think my best hope that I have is that the tension and the friction that's being built up in the country now is enough to get something done, like to change this. Like it's gonna get so bad
truth doesn't matter.
that I hope that but I just hope that like the material reality of people's lives starts to fucking tank.
Because you know what else I watched?
Dumb fuck Republicans living in the middle of nowhere. They need their lives to become so miserable that they turn on Trump. I'm sorry, we need to suffer. America needs to we need to bleed right now. Like
you know what else I watched, Riley?
Yeah.
I watched pieces of the Doge Oversight Committee.
You mean like a fucking like a fucking kindergarten?
Like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, have you actually seen any?
They're shoving crayons in their fucking nose. No, I didn't know there was footage of this.
There is footage of this, and look, I would pull it up right now, but I don't want to. I don't want you to lose hope in living midway through the podcast. That's how bad
Yeah,
it is,
no.
because
Yeah, I'd rather
it's
avoid it than being like,
actually
oh.
that bad. It is
Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of those
actually
people
that
that
bad.
fills me with like murderous rage. Like every single time I see her speak, I just wish someone would force her to shut up with like I can't I'm gonna have to edit that out. I was gonna say with a weapon. I'm gonna edit that out though.
She is she is the living embodiment of so much of what is wrong.
She's the living embodiment of missing brain cells. She's the living embodiment of like the complete idiocracy of the country.
Because here's one thing, right? One part that I watched where they actually had a Democrat there on the oversight committee, and he was talking about how there's no
Oh, Jerry
oversight.
is it Jerry Conway?
No, Kassar.
Corway, whatever the fuck. Pizarre. Oh wait, hold on.
CAS.
What? Say it louder.
CASSER, I think.
CASSER. Senator. Oh, Alexandra Kessar? No. Yes? What? No.
It was definitely CA.
There's no. Oh, no. Representative Kasar. Yes, here he is.
Kassar.
Greg Kasar from Texas.
Yes. So he got his 5 minutes, right? And they basically had a panel there of like CEOs and
This man is so hot. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think he's kind of hot. His teeth are a little fucked up, but like he's got like a good hair.
So he asked the question of, these people were investigating Elon Musk for this and that. How many, like, do you know what happened to them? And everybody on the panel said, "Oh no, we don't know." They were fired. Like the attorney generals, not attorney generals. What are they called? And the first people Musk basically fired, or Trump fired.
I don't even know. He fired everyone.
It was like some of the first people, the people who were there to basically who were investigating Musk.
Oh, investigators general.
Yes,
Investigators
the six
general.
investigator generals. So
not generals, investigators general.
Investigators general, yes. So he was there asking them about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they all basically just sat there saying, "No,
Inspector
no.
generals.
Inspector General. That's the ones. So his 5 minutes is over, and it goes back to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she just shuts that shit down immediately. And every other like Republican there was asking questions like, what are the ways that we can identify people better, and how the government can use identification to basically catch people. That's how bad it is.
Ronald Reagan terminated 16 inspector generals when he first entered office in 1981. His administration explained that Reagan intended to hire his own selections. After Congress objected, Reagan rehired 5 of those terminated. And George H.W. Bush also attempted to dismiss all inspectors general, and became president in 1989. But he relented. In 2020, Trump dismissed or replaced 5 inspectors general with 6 weeks, and then here he fired as many as 17. So this is a very big common trend with Republicans to just fire the people who are supposed to
I will
investigate.
note that it's not just Republicans listed.
Well, Barack Obama dismissed
One
guy, citing a lack of confidence in him.
troubling and inappropriate conduct, pointed out an incident. Walpin was disorientated during a board meeting of the corporation.
He's firing a Bush administration guy. I'm assuming a Bush administration guy. Yeah, that's the it looks like, I don't know. He got fucking fired for being a piece of shit. Well, all these other ones are like, let's just fire like all of them. Let's just fire them all.
It's wild. It's wild. We're truly past truth at this point. I mean, I saw, who was it, Bobert?
I hate her so much. She's like Marjorie Taylor Greene, where I just get angry.
She's like Timu Marjorie Taylor Greene. Anyway,
she's like even trashier. No, she's like, no, I can't say that. That's sexist.
She was questioning the head of the EPA, and she didn't even.
Oh, that's gonna be another thing that goes. Yeah. Another Nixon thing, by the way. EPA is Nixon.
She didn't even know or understand the law that she was questioning him on, and was corrected by a separate, like, Congress person.
Lauren Boebert, I'm pretty sure, is the one who's never passed a single piece of legislation.
Well, I mean, she doesn't seem to understand law at all, like how laws work.
Yeah, no, she's really bad.
Like look, as evil as Marjorie Taylor Greene is, Marjorie Taylor Greene seems to know how to play the game. Lauren Boebert doesn't seem to know anything. From what I can tell, like, she doesn't.
I'm pretty sure.
Like, she's just there to be a seat for the Republicans. She doesn't.
Here's a good. Sorry.
Wait, is she the one?
She was the one who's giving head to her boyfriend at a Beetlejuice show.
She was that one too.
On September 10th, 2023, Boebert and a male companion were removed by security staff from a performance of the musical Beetlejuice in a theater in Denver, Colorado, after she caused a disturbance by vaping, singing, and recording the performance. Boebert initially denied having vaped as well as causing disturbance, writing on social media that she pleaded guilty to laughing and singing too loud. After surveillance footage found of the incident was released, she apologized for falling short of her values and vaping. She said that she had previously denied it only because she did not recall having done so. The video also showed Boebert's companion fondling her breasts and Boebert caressing his genitals while they were in their seats.
Yeah,
Months
it wasn't
later,
head,
Boebert
it was a hand job.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, she was jerking her boyfriend off and getting felt up the fucking Beetlejuice show. God, she's just trashy. She's trashy. Careless driving and
Boebert described the incident as a very private moment. What's funny about that is you did it in public, Lauren. You did it in fucking public.
Lauren. Misdemeanor, underage drinking. Like, she's trashy. She is trashy. I don't know if it's like, her name is Opal? Opal.
So it's pretty awful over there right now, and it's pretty fucking hard to watch.
Tired of this separation of church and state junk.
What an idiot.
She just look like
and you know what? The separation of
like,
church and state has been a fucking fallacy since the beginning of time.
I think it's one of those things that comes in cycles where sometimes it's like legitimately like there's like really no like, because like I don't think Eisenhower fucking was really talking about religion and like Truman and
it's not
FDR,
always,
but then it's like fucking Reagan comes in. It's just like,
I'll give you, it's not always explicit, but what do you say? One nation under God,
indivisible.
So separation of church and state has always been a fallacy.
Yeah. 1885. Whoa. When did it become school usage?
So
1942.
You can't tell me that this was ever anything more than a complete fallacy. You understand? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
this is the way of things. It's never been separation of church and state. That's a statement purely to placate the public, and it doesn't mean anything.
Under God was only added in 1954, which is interesting.
All right, well then I stand corrected. It wasn't since the beginning. But since 1954 then
Well, the
separation of
Pledge of
church and
Allegiance. Well, the Pledge of Allegiance is only a byproduct of this. Like one of the big things in a lot of, because like a lot of like presidents during like slave times would use the Bible as a way to defend slavery and also as a way to fucking criticize slavery. Manifest Destiny would be backed up by the Bible. Colonization was backed up by religion and stuff. There was like purity politics for like drinking and like prohibition and stuff. For like that was a big push by that. A lot of anti-suffragette movements and pro-suffragette movements were also always motivated by religion because religion is always able to be used by anyone who wants to use it. So it was always on the both sides of every fucking issue ever. Like religion always has been involved. Like there's the monkey trials with this, like the fucking evolution in schools and stuff. It has always been, and there's never been a separation of church and state. Like fundamentally,
yeah,
it is one of those things. It just kind of like pops up.
but I mean,
Yeah.
this is
Do we want
this is all wild. Like just to highlight how much this is going at a mile a minute. We haven't even touched on Russia, Ukraine. We haven't even touched on Mar-a-Lago in Gaza. Like,
I think
this is how
I think
much
we should save.
shit's happening all the fucking time.
I think we should save the Ukraine stuff until the peace deal's fully made.
What do you mean peace deal?
Peace
deal. What do you mean?
Because they're gonna
peace
do
deal?
it.
Because
they're gonna fucking push it through.
because it's not
Peace
going
in
to be a
quotation.
it's not going to be a peace deal. It's going to be handing Ukraine over to Russia.
The partition of Ukraine. Yeah, whenever
No,
I
the partition of Ukraine is the first step. They're handing
I'm
Ukraine
saying
to
like
Russia.
whenever it happens, I'm saying like we should wait to pull off on until something happens because there's really not much to say other than Trump's being a Putin puppet again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And same
Pretty
thing with
much.
like Gaza and stuff because I kind of want to wait for more news on the Gaza stuff because right now it's so confusing on what the fuck is actually going to happen over there. Because he's walked back his statement, but also kind of hasn't. So it's like I don't fucking know.
Yeah, well, Hamas is
But there's so much to say. Hamas is definitely a threat to the region.
No, look, I'm just about to say like Hamas definitely didn't fucking listen to him, and they don't care what he says. He basically threatened to send American troops to go behead every person who looks like Hamas to them if they didn't release the people by Saturday, and they didn't release all the people. They just released the 3 as stated in the original peace attempts.
But we're never getting peace in the Middle East.
No,
we're never getting it.
Not as long as
America, as long as America exists, we're not having peace in the Middle East.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, this stuff's going at a mile a minute. I can't keep up. So let's
make fun of Elon again. Let's bring it back.
Let's make fun of Elon Musk.
So you've definitely read the article now because it keeps getting jump scared on screen. But Elon Musk has announced. He hasn't announced the MAGA influencer. First of all, MAGA influencer. Elon's having a 13th kid. This podcast is themed around Elon being a bad parent. Another one. So Elon is having a 13th child. This is the 13th child. The cursed one. The
I
one
think I know what Elon should name this kid though.
What do you think?
Harbinger.
Nah, this one should be named like Techno Fuck Billy.
Think about it.
Billy.
It's the 13th child, right? It is number 13 in line, and it is the beginning of the end times. This is Harbinger.
The fact
what if I called it? What if he actually names the kid Harbinger?
I don't think he will. I think he's gonna name it like Megatron or some shit.
He named one of his kids Damien.
Yeah, but that was before he lost this month.
What do you mean
That was when
before
he
he
was
lost?
just that was just when he was a pedophile.
When the
idiot,
fuck
retard.
did he have his mind?
I can't say. Like back when he was pretending to like because like Elon, I think, has always been an idiot. He's always been incredibly stupid.
Yes.
But the thing about Elon is, I don't think he was a complete drooling like Neanderthal until like 2021, whenever it was that like he started to go full MAGA. Because before then, he was just kind of like he was like a semi-public figure. He liked attention, but he wouldn't really like stick his face out too much. He would try to be the funny, nerdy, autistic like billionaire who like was quippy and was kind of hip. He was like pro queer. You know, there's the famous tweet where he's like, "All people are accepted at Tesla." He was like a liberal, so like that's like when he was still in that. It was 2006. Like it was like when he was basically like
All people
a
are
nobody.
accepted at Tesla. Do you know how I read that? All of you are welcome to be enslaved by the Musk.
Of course, that's what the means. But
I
like he
don't.
didn't lose his mind until like, he went full right wing pivot, which happened because he was accused of rape. Let's not forget this. He's one of those people who'd switched to the right wing after like a rape accusation was hit, which is so classic. Like it's one of the classic right wing pivots. Oh, I was accused of sexual assault. Well, actually,
I'm a
I'm a right winger.
Republican.
That's what Drake did too. Because Drake, I mean, he hasn't like said he's a Republican, but Drake has gone through like the gambling influencer circuit and like XQC streams and like Aiden Ross and shit. He's like he's like sponsored by Steak. He's a kick streamer. Like Drake, after Drake had all the fucking shit with him being like a pedophile, he also did this too. Like it's crazy. Like if you are outed as a pedophile or a sexual predator, just do the right wing gambit. It's like you get on like 3 different podcasts a week and make fucking like hundreds of thousands of dollars just making appearances on shows.
It's.
And if you're lucky, you become the shadow president.
Oh my god.
So the funniest thing here is that he's having it with a 6-year-old like TikTok influencer. Like
TikTok
like
MAGA influencer.
when he absolutely like raped this woman, right? Maybe not like physically accosted her, but he absolutely like socially manipulated this woman. Like there's no way that this was like an equal standing.
Oh
5
no.
months ago I welcomed.
But
Wait, hold on. Wait. The child's already born.
yes, you didn't know this?
I thought No. I thought that the baby was I thought that the baby was like she was pregnant with the baby and is announcing that it's Elon's.
No, the baby exists.
Oh.
There's no plausible deniability here.
Wow. Okay, that makes this funnier.
Like,
oh my lord. So why did she even say it? 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days it has become clear that the tabloid media intends to do so regardless of the harm it will cause. I intend to allow our child to grow in a normal and safe environment. For that reason, I ask that the media refrain our child's privacy and refrain from invasive reporting.
this child is
So
not going
basically-
to have a normal and fucking safe environment as long as this is the child's mother.
Yeah, I want to know more about this woman. What's her name? Ashley St. Clair.
Yes, she's literally
Her name-
just a TikTok MAGA influencer. Every news article is going to be about this very same thing.
Let's see what Fox News has to say.
Claims.
Conservative
Look at
influencer.
their- look at their
claim.
language.
That's the person that. Yeah, that's the person that popped in my mind there. Claims she became pregnant with Elon Musk's child. Like I love the passive language. She claims she became pregnant with Elon Musk's 13th child and gave birth 5 months ago. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Dude, whenever you start to notice that like passive language is a thing, it gets so funny and so like evil when you notice things. I'm a true noticer here. how Ashley St. Clair fits into Elon Musk's tangled love life after his very public outings with his kids. The New York Post is. I hate the New York Post. The New York Post is one of those things that I see every day at work, and it just like
Mainstream news is completely bought your
gets me so
country.
angry. Oh yeah, no. Like I had the Daily Beast pulled up. They're one of like the only news article outlets, and they're like a fucking like here they have a section for the royals. Like they're basically just like they're basically the New York Post, but for like leftists, where it's like obviously biased and stuff, but like at least they don't really lie. I mean, AP News and Reuters are the only two that I'm really trusting now, and Al Jazeera. Those are the only three I really trust at the moment.
Look, there's a difference between being biased and lying.
And being bought, yeah. Like the Daily Beast is obviously biased towards the left, but they don't lie really. Like they don't. I don't really know any big examples of them just obviously lying. Like even AP News,
like they'll choose not to cover certain stories.
Reuters.
Maybe they'll choose.
Yeah.
Like that's bias. Outright lies, though. You got Fox News. You got
CNN.
CNN's now on that track as well.
MSNBC. These all, first of all, you can say these lie like because of Israel. All these news outlets lie because of Israel. Even AP News and Reuters, which I will defend in most situations, have like twisted the truth about Israel, like lied by exclusion and stuff, like or lying by omission. Like they've done that type of stuff. But really, the only news article I can really trust when it comes to like that type of stuff is fucking Al Jazeera. Like really, you got to go to foreign countries for your fucking news now.
Yeah,
crazy.
But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. To China. I mean, you could come and join one of the BRICS countries.
This is the BRICS propaganda cast. We're sponsored by BRICS.
Speaking of which, though,
mm-hmm.
are we done? Like,
yeah, we're done making fun of Elon's.
So there's
children.
There's actually a short that I've found here, and I want to get your thoughts on it, completely fresh. So you haven't seen any of this before?
No, I have not. Show me.
I'm leading into it. You haven't seen you haven't seen this before. I haven't mentioned it to you. I haven't primed you on any of this yet. I just want to get your thoughts on this next short.
Mm-hmm. Disgruntled South Africans march on U.S. Embassy.
Right, you ready?
From Dan Corder.
Did you see this? Around 1,500 South Africans dressed in apartheid cosplay descended on the American embassy in Pretoria this weekend to thank Trump and protest the allegedly terrible things the South African government is doing. It's very important to remember that this ghastly group of people does not represent and is not the voice of Afrikaners as a whole. This is 1,500 people. This is like barely a flash mob. I'm on WhatsApp groups with more members than this rally. There are millions of Afrikaners in South Africa, and as we've seen in the last week, they all have a diverse, broad set of beliefs. This group needs to be distinguished by its own name. This bunch of khaki-wearing Confederates. That could work, actually, but let's put it in Afrikaans. A bunch of khaki-wearing Confederates. A klomp khaki confederasie. KKK for short. That fits. Did you?
KKK.
They're just kaka. They're just rednecks.
Not kaka.
So
K. Ka is Afrikaans for K. He's calling them the KKK.
Oh, I thought he was calling them kaka, like poop.
No, like in Afrikaans you say K with like
it's ka.
It's ka, but like listen to the way he says.
But let's put it in Afrikaans. A bunch of khaki-wearing Confederates. A klomp khaki confederasie. KKK for short. That fits.
Okay, I see now. Also, the wind is picking back up.
So, your
thoughts. Yeah, I'm not really surprised. Because I know that this is like the same type of like these are like the hard fuckers who are like super racist. I love how they're all bald pretty much. Like a lot of the people in the front, they're like all bald. They're all bald. Um, they're all ugly as sin. Like it really shows that evil appears on the face. Um, like there's the recognize the white nation like Israel was recognized. That's really interesting.
Yep.
I literally don't know what to think about that because like recognize the white nation like Israel was recognized. Are they supporting Israel? Are they a
Yes.
Nazi and they're against this? I don't.
So yeah, let me clear up a couple of things for you here then, right? Because I'm the South African, so I got to clear this up, I guess. Number one, I know certain South Africans who, obviously, this is all no names mentioned. I know certain South Africans who have had family in Auschwitz.
Mm,
Members of that
mm,
family support Trump.
cognitive dissonance.
So, understand that this is the IDF perspective, right?
I see. I see.
They
Just the wording
are
confused me.
they are the Nazis in the modern day. They are the ones who want to do the genocide. These are the South Africa. These guys here in this picture behind Dan Corder
These people
want the genocide.
yeah, these people would have been like first in line to be not like death camp like guards.
Yes. So they basically want the same status. Think about this, right? What is America doing for Israel?
Sending them weapons and bailing them out of
They're
like
enabling a
international
genocide.
politics. Yes.
Think about this wording now that I put that in perspective.
I see. So that sign is calling for America to fund the white nation in South Africa.
Yes.
To fund a revenge tour.
Basically, yes, because I know I've mentioned it a few times on the podcast. I know I've mentioned it and I brought this up on the podcast before, but this is what they want.
Yes, Aranya. This is the little ethno state they have.
White
in
separatists, South
Free State.
African towns founded by
No, thank you.
Afrikaners located in the Karoo region of the Northern Cape. Goal of creating a stronghold for the Afrikaner community. No people of color allowed.
Yes, I do remember you telling me this.
These are those people.
It is really scary, but
So they
I feel
want
like
a white nation here. And in order to do that, they want the status that Israel has.
right. I think the only saving grace here is that this type of attitude, like if we take America out of the situation, this movement is completely unserious and will never get anywhere.
Look, America doesn't care.
You know, America. I'm talking like without America in the question at all. Like this is completely unserious and will never go anywhere. And these people will die alone and like of misery because their family hates them. Or maybe they're all like, well, their family could still hate them even without being called out for racism because I'm sure these people beat their kids.
Yes, but they also
like,
raise their kids
But
inside
then
that
bringing America in the
ideology.
situation, then it becomes like a 1% chance, and it's like, oh, well, shit, maybe they will fund it.
How long ago
But, like,
was the Civil
still,
War?
I don't think America will actually give money to South Africa.
How long ago was the Civil War?
The Civil War was 1861 to 1865.
Right. How many people fly the Confederate flag today?
At least 12.
More than 12. And you know it.
13?
Look.
I'm playing silly.
Does this feel silly?
No, but we are trying to. I'm not trying to just leave everyone in the podcast with the complete sadness and despair.
No, I get you there, but I'm making a point about the fact that that is what is happening. Like, these people aren't dying alone somewhere. Like, we only ended apartheid in 1994.
All these people probably lived through it.
Like, some of the people in this crowd are my age.
That guy looks like he's probably like mid-20s, but just like really fucking
Younger than me.
gross. But that guy little on their left there, that bald guy, he absolutely was alive for fucking apartheid.
Yes. But if you look in the crowd,
The
it's
beard
old
man.
people, it's young people. They are
That beard man was definitely there.
this guy. Like, they're multi-generational is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
places like Orania exist. So here's a thought experiment for a moment, right? You're born in the year 2004
Yes, that's my birth year.
in South Africa, in
Okay.
the town of Orania.
Mm-hmm. I'm fucked.
From the moment you're born, your parents teach you only this. You don't go to a public school. You don't mix with other people of other races at all. You don't have friends who are outside of that bubble. You only learn this. What are your chances?
Very, very small. The only hope is that you are like given internet exposure and like you fucking get out of there, or like you just don't vibe with it as a kid and you're just like naturally predisposed to not being a mean person, and it kind of like that saves you. Like there's really like no chance. Like most people
Anytime
in that
you show compassion to anybody who isn't at least as pale as you are punished for it.
yeah. And then like the only way, I mean, like that can lead you into being like resentful of it and getting out when you're an adult. But
That's
that
clearly not
that's
happening.
that's just a slim. I mean, not forever. I'm sure like just people who grew up in like religious abuse environments were like
200 years later, people are still flying the Confederate flag.
it's because they were able to change the identity of what that flag is supposed to stand
No,
for.
they
to
know
be
what it
Southern
stands for.
pride and culture. Yeah, I know, but like there's like an insidious like underlying message. Like yeah, the flag does represent that, but to a lot of people, they genuinely see it as a Southern pride thing, not realizing what that Southern pride is. Like there are people out
don't
there
defend them. Don't
I'm not
defend them.
defending them. No, I'm not defending them. I'm telling you what the fuck their brain is like because I know people like this. There are people out there who genuinely do not associate it with slavery because there was a successful effort
Shout
to
out to those 12
disassociate it.
people.
No, Jade, I am not defending that. I am factually stating there are people out there who are deluded in the brain to think that it has nothing to do with slavery and instead it's Southern pride and the good old boys. Like they have fallen for the propaganda. It was a concerted effort for 100 years to like justify that flag as a non-hate symbol, and it worked.
Yes,
That's
but
bad.
on the
That's
other
bad.
side of that, do you know what is intrinsic to that very same propaganda?
Tell me.
You're better because you're white.
Yes, no. I like at least half the people who fly that flag are fucking racist. Like more than half.
It's
Most
not
of the
even.
people who fly
It's
that flag
not
are
even
racist as shit.
about being actively racist.
It's a passive racism. I understand this. I agree with you on this. I'm saying that a lot of those people also genuinely believe that it's like a fucking Southern pride thing.
Oh yes, absolutely. Look, it is a Southern pride thing, but intrinsic to that very same propaganda that they've been exposed to that tells them that it's a Southern pride symbol is the ideology that you're better because you're white.
Yeah. Like it's like a subtle socially
So,
reinforced
so
thing.
they know. They are aware. They're at least aware enough
Oh,
to
people
jump
aren't always aware
jump
of
around the
their.
topic.
If you consider aware to be like they see a brown person and scoot over like reactively, then yeah, they are all.
If given
But
a
like,
position of power high enough to hire other people in positions of power, they will not hire a person of color.
yeah, they probably won't.
That's what this is. Look, I know you didn't want to leave the people on a down note. We don't have to like stop there. We can think of something, I don't know. But the point is that what Trump is allowing people all over the world. Because look at the right wing in Canada.
They're on
MAGA
a
heads.
decline right now.
They're on the decline because Canadians as a whole don't want to be a part of America. But what is the right wing political stance in Canada is MAGA.
It's basically, yeah, it's MAGA. MAGA is like an international export now.
Exactly. This is just another cog in the wheel of MAGA. And this isn't in America. This is in South Africa. And look, what Dan Corder here, if you want to give it a little bit of a positive spin, what Dan Corder says here is very accurate. These are
It's
just
only
1,500 people. This is
That's
fuck all
why I
people.
said it's like an unserious movement because it's so small.
But
It's so small, and
but
like
beyond this 1,500 people who are militantly for the ideology, just think about how many people in South Africa, white South Africans, who are passively Trump supporters. Look, we don't have the MAGA fervor here, right? Because the stuff doesn't affect us in the same way. We're very far removed. This is still Africa. But MAGA is seeping into it all. And people who by rights should have no allegiance to any fucking American president are calling themselves Trump supporters.
I think that's on the decline now because everyone's
No,
saying
it's picking up. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about what I know about here.
Yeah, but do you? I'm thinking that like in South Africa, places that are already against Trump are getting more against Trump. Like people who are already against Trump are even more so, and anyone who is getting new opinions on Trump are most likely being against Trump because he is polarizing so many
As far
people
as I can tell,
he
the
is
people who
fucking over so many
hated
people.
who hated Trump all through from the Apprentice days all the way through to when he was first running for president and calling him an idiot are now on Trump's side.
No, Trump had less voters this time than he did the fucking last two elections.
All right, then you tell me about the political ideologies of South Africans.
I wasn't talking about them in that
I
statement. I was
was.
saying like, well then, I don't know. I fucking hate this conversation.
I understand. I know it sucks. All of it is horrifying. I hate it too. But I'm talking about the South African perspective here for just a moment. And that is kind of what it's coming down to. And what's really happening is that as Trump is pulling out USAID, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know which countries are investing billions of US dollars in South Africa? China is investing heavily in South Africa. China is
Good.
investing
Good.
No, this is not good. This is not good. It's not
This is
good.
the
Look,
year.
I
This is
live
the
here and
Chinese century.
I don't agree with the Chinese politics or
The
ideologies or anything.
Chinese
I
government
don't.
is unironically better than the Trump presidency. I am not exaggerating. I am not joking. They are unironically better than Trump
Okay, but I
because they have
will
an interest in nation building. They have an interest.
counterpoint. Trump is one person.
No, he has an
Trump is
administration that is
Yes, it's
doing
now
it.
an administration, but that administration doesn't look the same without Trump. It doesn't have the fervor without Trump.
No,
Look,
Elon's the president.
look, unironically, Ron DeSantis, one of the most unpopular motherfuckers, basically has the same ideologies as Trump. Fuck gay people, fuck people of
Hello?
color. Like, it's all in line.
Hello?
Hello? Oh, I think your internet's dying, isn't it? Hello? I can literally see you disconnect.
Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you now. You said Ron DeSantis basically has the same ideology, and then you got out.
Right. Ron DeSantis has basically the same ideologies as the whole Trump movement. Fuck the LGBT. Fuck people of color. Put the evil in power.
America number one.
America number one. So you see what I mean by, like, Trump is
America runs on Trump.
right now, he is the fuel that is fueling the fire, right? China is an institution that runs that way whether Xi Jinping is president or not. It doesn't matter. The Chinese politics are what they are, and I don't want that shit here either. Look, as bad as Trump is, every now and again, you motherfuckers get an Obama and a Biden. And, you know, I'm not saying that they're the best fucking people in the world either. But as far as the continent of Africa goes, South Africa is one of the one that stands on the grand political stage of the world the most. And if we get bought out by China, that's a fucking problem.
Well, because here's the reality of it. Europe is also turning to China because Europe's not turning to Russia. Most European politics are like foreign policy is dictated on opposing Russia and being scared of Russia. They're not turning to Russia. They're turning away from America, either by force from America or by
as far as
voluntary.
I understand, Europe is turning
to
towards Canada and Mexico.
No, Canada and Mexico are turning to Europe. Canada and Mexico. What the fuck is Europe gonna do turning to Mexico?
You know what I mean. They're like, coming together more.
Together.
There's
but
no
they're also
danger.
turning to China because there's no money like superpower money. You need one of the superpowers.
Yes.
Like Europe is powerful together, but like European countries are gonna need the big bucks.
It's Europe as a whole is not being bought out by China.
No. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying they're bought out by China. I'm gonna finish my point. I'm saying that with like basically a lot of former American allies turning to China, I think that could possibly influence Chinese culture in some sort of way to be more cooperative, and that could trickle into some sort of like political change that would see less of like that institution you talk about. This is like all crackpot theory, but this is like happened to other nations.
You mean like China getting better because it's dealing with
the international. Yeah, like China opens up to the world because America pushes everyone away from itself, and because of that, China becomes more like how, like, not like America like was, but like they kind of are respected by more countries. They drop a lot more of like the guarded language. I can see that happening in some way where, like, because of America's actions, China
Like
changes.
China improving somewhat.
Yeah.
I can see
in order to
that.
attract attention.
I can see
So
that.
with that, that's kind of like what I see happening, or what I see
But
can happen.
on
Because
the flip side, you know
because
what
the
that
Chinese
implies,
party is
right?
pretty. Tell me what you want to say.
That America becomes the new China.
Oh yeah, no, but I think America is going to join Russia. Like, Russia is just going to fucking just kind of exist. I don't know. I want to say Russia's going to explode, but that's only happening when Putin dies. When Putin dies, Russia's exploding. Like that's just kind of like.
You think that Putin is holding Russia together?
Yeah.
You don't think
I
Putin
don't.
has? You don't think Putin has
I think
a
he doesn't
plan?
have an heir. No, he doesn't have any heir to. I think what happens when Putin dies, because I'm gonna be real. I don't think Putin gives a fuck about what's gonna happen after he dies. I don't think he cares about
You
keeping,
don't
like,
think he
he's
has a
not like
secession
Hitler.
plan?
Like Hitler would have had a plan, like, if he was like in Putin's position, because Hitler believed in his Reich. Like someone like fucking
Yeah,
like
Hitler's plan was
someone,
to have the Reich run for at least
yeah,
100
1,000
years.
years,
1,000
thousand
years.
years,
Yeah, that's
1,000 year
the
Reich.
one. 1,000 year Reich.
Cause, yeah, but like Putin doesn't. I don't think Putin gives a fuck about the legacy of Russia. I think a lot of the stuff he says about the legacy of Russian Empire, he says for like public support and propaganda. I don't think he actually fucking believes in like
That's
I
a
think he
that's a
just likes
dangerous dice to roll. Look, you may view it that way. Look, I'm not going to discount what you're thinking or what you're saying. You may view it that way, but you could very well be wrong. You could very, very well be wrong. And it, at least from my perspective, feels more like he does have a secession plan. He's just not letting other people know about it because Russia
you
is
cut out.
like that.
I got dropped.
Just saying, like, he may, or he could very well have a very, very good secession plan for once he goes, right?
Yeah,
But you won't
I'm
know
not
about
putting
it
out a wrong
because
possibility.
Russia plays the game differently
Yeah, we'll never know what Putin's fucking plans are. But I
until
just
they
think,
happen.
yeah. Well, even then, we don't even know, because you don't even know what the fuck, like, anything. He just does it. But like, I feel like what's gonna happen is when Putin dies, all the oligarchs that are in power in Russia are just gonna scramble to like
Power
grab
struggle.
that power.
Power
Yeah, power
struggle.
struggle, and it's gonna turn into like a lot of like skirmishes between like mercenary groups and shit. And
But
I don't think there'll be a civil war, but I think there'll be
what you're
political like
claiming is
consumption.
that Putin has no patriotism.
No, I'm claiming that the oligarchs. Oh wait, sorry. Yes, Putin. I guess. Yes, sorry.
Remember, we're talking
Sorry.
about
I thought you
Putin's
meant.
secession plan. Fuck the oligarchs. We're
Sorry, I
talking
thought
about
you meant like
Putin's
Putin had
secession.
no support of the people. Like, no one was patriotic for Putin. Sorry, I didn't mean you mean Putin himself
Yeah,
wasn't like. Yeah, I don't think Putin himself like cares about the what happens after he dies to
I think he
Russia.
does. I think
I
he
mean,
does.
like, that's just as valid as what I think, because I don't really like.
Look, neither of us are going to be
Usually,
able to say for certain one way or another. This is the fact of the case. But the truth is that the way it feels to me is that he does have a sincere patriotism towards Russian Empire.
yeah.
He's evil, but he's also one of. Let's look. I'm not here to kiss Russia's ass either. Fuck all of them and fuck what they're doing all over the world. But as far as evil people go in today's world, Putin's the smartest one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
as far as all of the evil people in the world, if you line them all up, if you had them all come together, Putin would be the smart one in the room.
Okay, but actually, is he though? He's probably the I don't know.
Smart in an
He's
evil way.
definitely
Look,
fucking.
being
He's
evil,
definitely smart as hell. But I
being
feel like he's
evil
saying he's the smartest.
is the dumber thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
So I think
it is a measure of comparison here. It is a measure of comparison because
he's
if you,
definitely the most politically competent evil person ever
I mean, motherfucker was
in
trained by the
the world right now.
KGB.
Like, yeah, he has incredibly good political instincts and talent, is what we can say. Like, he knows how to do the game.
Exactly.
He knows how to maneuver his way around and get what he wants. Now if he knows how to fucking invade Ukraine in 3 weeks, I don't think he knows how to do that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's smart in that way, but like, put Putin in a room with Elon, and who do you think is gonna walk out crying?
Elon, maybe Putin from just having to be near Elon. Not really fair. I think anyone would cry after walking away from Elon.
Here's the thing, though. As far as I understand, the KGB trained you to be fucking tortured as well. I think that he'd leave Elon a fucking mess on the floor.
Elon would be like, you know in Hellraiser when it's like the pile on the fucking floor, that'd be Elon at the end of it.
Pretty much. Look at it this way, right? Trump is somebody who rides on his own power, right? His ego knows no bounds. I would even argue that Trump's ego is more important to him than even Putin's.
Absolutely. Trump is
but Trump bows to Putin.
Driven by his ego. Oh, because Trump knows where the money comes from.
And that's the difference. That's the difference. You don't see Russian oligarchs standing in Putin's office giving speeches. Say what you will about their power.
See that.
Say what you will about the power.
Never see that.
If Elon tried in Russia what he just did in America,
he would be disappeared.
He'd be dead.
He would be gone. He'd be.
You wouldn't even find the fucking body.
In a box. He would be in the cement.
So, like, all I'm saying is, by measure of comparison, if you really put these motherfuckers head to head directly, not their armies, not their countries, but these people, Putin walk away the winner. And I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that. So
I love how we're power scaling like world leaders. We're power scaling right now.
Bring back Nelson Mandela.
Bring back Richard Nixon. I'm full on Nixon right now. You know, part of why I'm talking about Nixon so much is because I learned this might be a funny thing to bring up. So this can be like a fun way to end the podcast.
All right.
So there was like a collection of presidential doodles of like what presidents would draw in their like notebooks and stuff.
Go back to the top. Go back to the top. I want to bring this up on mine. We can look through some of these because I see it goes all the way back to Jefferson here.
So we see like what the presidents would draw in their notebooks. Like Jefferson drew geometry. John Quincy Adams drew the fucking garden because he was a botanist. He's drawing like stars, and Jackson's drawing stars. Oh no, sorry, hold on. Why is it sketch? Why is it done like this? Who is this? So this is John Adams, even though it's not listed up here. So I thought. Okay, so yes.
So there's John Adams doing Pythagorean
there's Jefferson's
theory.
garden.
That's pretty cool. I just want to note, like, go to John one. The John Adams doing Pythagorean like theorems as a doodle. That's fucking epic.
It is pretty good. I thought this was actually Jefferson because Jefferson I could also see doing that, considering John Adams, Jefferson, and Stedman. And then John Quincy Adams, I thought this was his garden because he was a botanist. He was like a hobbyist, like garden guy or whatever the fuck. It's kind of like a known fact about him. But it's actually Jefferson's photo.
See, this doesn't look like the picture a botanist would draw. A botanist would draw
You're right.
a plant or a flower or something rather, like not the layout of the garden.
Yeah, but like I feel like this is kind of like something you draw when you're like being talked to by like an advisor you don't care about.
Yeah.
Like absent-mindedly drawing. But here's Quincy Adams actually drew stars, which also makes sense for him because he's like a fucking
His
he's a nerd.
interpretation of the
Jackson
stars. That's
drawing
pretty cool.
a alligator. This is Jackson drawing an alligator.
That looks like a 5-year-old's drawing of an alligator. I'm sorry, Andrew, but no.
William Henry Harrison drawing a house. And I don't know what the fuck that is. We have James Garfield drawing
Garfield.
this. I think these are sandwiches.
The first orange president.
Yeah, the first orange. Yeah, the cat.
Cat.
Grant here drawing
Ulysses.
He's drawing the March to the Sea, apparently. I don't really see that, but sure. He's doing like the thing I do where you just do X's and then squares. This is what I do.
That does track
here's
for
Harding.
Ulysses S. Grant.
Here's Harding.
Harding's another one of your 5-year-old presidents, it seems. 2 years after his drawing of an ostrich. I've ridden an ostrich. That's awful.
Calvin Coolidge doing some like fucking abstract lines.
Art. Okay, Coolidge.
Herbert Hoover doing this.
This
is pretty cool.
Did he have like authoritarian brain or something?
No, this is Art Deco.
Art Deco. Okay.
This is Art Deco. Art Deco is like the opposite of authoritarian.
It just feels very like emblem. Which
you think of that because of? I feel like Art Deco has an association with authoritarianism because of BioShock.
Maybe.
But next is JFK, who drew a bunch of boxes. He loves boxes. LBJ drew this, which is very LBJ.
I'm just surprised LBJ didn't just draw a picture of his own dick. Let's be honest.
This is what it looks like.
Are you not surprised either?
Anyway, here's what's making me laugh so much. This is Nixon's drawing. He's drawing like fourth dimensional objects. It's like out here.
Nixon like out here playing 5D chess with multi-dimensions while everybody's playing checkers.
Nixon's in his office seeing like angels come from heaven gifting him artifacts, and this is what it is, and he's like, I have to do this.
The voices told me to kill the hippies.
This will be my magical weapon. Like he's drawing like impossible shapes that can never exist in person and can only exist like through pencil drawings.
Fucking what?
It's somewhat boring.
Do I even want to see it? Right? Oh, of course.
Are you surprised that it's him and horses and shit?
Of course.
Are you surprised he drew himself?
He literally drew himself. Did you ever, like, out of curiosity, did you ever see any of, like, pre-President Reagan footage?
I need to watch the one with him him and his mom.
But, like, he used to... Do you know how he transitioned from acting to politics?
I actually don't know.
He was hired to do PSAs for the government.
Lamau. Bedtime for Bonzo.
Like he started out by doing PSAs for the government. Like you can imagine during the 50s what those PSAs were like.
They're definitely like, make sure you don't let the gay man touch your willy.
There's an epidemic in our schools.
There's an epidemic.
Are your children touching each other?
We should watch a Reagan movie. I want to watch Bedtime for Bonzo with you.
I want to watch the monkey movie.
I want to watch the monkey movie. A sequel, Bonzo Goes to College.
Was Reagan in it?
I don't know. No, he wasn't.
Nope, don't care.
Nope. No Reagan.
No Reagan. Reagan played the monkey.
It's got Edmund Gwenn. Who the fuck is that?
Do I know any
he was Kris Kringle. He was Kris Kringle.
Do I know any of these names? Wait. No. Maybe Frank Nelson. No.
He was in the Addams Family.
Maybe I do know Frank Nelson then.
Yeah. He's voice actor for the Flintstones and shit.
Yeah. I thought I recognized at least one name there.
Yeah, Frank Nelson. Here we can go here. Voice cast. Frank Nelson. Here, he's just uncredited. Never mind. Maybe you don't know him. He's an additional voice cast. He's just here.
Maybe Mel
Mel
Blanc.
Blanc. What's up, man? What's up, guy?
Yeah, wasn't he a classic? Yeah, the man of 1,000 voices. This is the guy.
Yeah, this is him. This is Bugs Bunny.
If you listen to anything animated between like
He is
the
he's
50s to like the 20s to the 80s, like this motherfucker was the voice of it somewhere.
Yep. Yep.
Mel
He's
Blanc.
the guy. He is
Oh
literally.
my, did they really put that on his fucking gravestone?
That's all, folks. I'm sure he wanted that. He was Bugs Bunny. He was Bugs Bunny.
Oh, apparently he was Porky Pig too.
He was everyone.
Because Porky Pig was the that's all, folks. And you know what? On that note, I think there's no better place to say that's all, folks.
I want a divorce.
Oh, thank you for watching this incredibly fucking awful mess of a late episode.
Mm.
Fuck you.